Chapter 4, objects and graphs. Okay. Objective: to understand the concept of object and how they can be used to simplify programs. Okay. To be familiar with the various objects available in the graphics library, to be able to create objects in programs and call appropriate method to perform graphical computations. And then to understand the fundamental concept of computer graphics, especially the role of coordinate system and coordinate transformations. We have to understand how to work with mouse text-based input in the graphic programming context to be able to write simple interactive graphic programs using graphic library. Okay, these are different description for what is going to cover over here. But before we jump into those concepts, let's look at what is object and what is class. What is a class? What is a object? And what is graphics? Okay, these are three things we will cover in this right here. Okay, so when you type print the integer, it will tell you that it's a class integer. Okay, so class integer is a class, and then the object 3.5. This one actually is a object. Okay, so the object 3.5, it is actually a integer type, right? That is a single object, and this one actually it can be added with like 3.9. That's another integer object, and then you give result to another object that actually it is like 10.4. Okay, these are three objects. But object in terms of helping the arithmetic calculation is not that important. Okay, it's not that important. But sometimes, say we talk about some other object that is more useful. Actually, for example, like in graphic system is more useful. Okay, so graphic system, why is more useful? It's because like, okay, right here, if I turn back to my screen, okay, and I actually do something like this, right? So in the old day, actually, if I bring up my computer, right here, I type Windows R, I bring a command line, okay. Like 30 years ago, when we are young, we do programming like this. Okay, and then go to like something like this, right? DIR, and then we do like party com data dat, and then here we actually type I am fine, okay, and then Control E, okay, and then I can type the file a.dat. Everything is in text mode, right? And actually that file I created is over here. There will be a over here. I can open it. I can actually open it. Okay, a moment. I can open with some editor. Okay, something like that. It will be there. Okay, it will be there. But actually, I don't want to update it. So that's in the old day that everything is in text mode. Everything is in text mode, and then this one we call it a terminal. Right? It's going to call it a terminal. And also when you run your program over here, it's also in text mode. Or you bring up your console here, Python console here, it's also in text mode. Okay? But some program as I showed you before. Okay, so in chapter 4 here, so let's do first object. Okay. What are the objects? What are the objects? So whenever I show you something like from pilot, okay, import star, and then I say x equals a linear space, and then say from -5 to 5, and then 101 points, and then y equals mass dot sqrt of the x, and then here I need to input it's okay here, and then I say figure, and then show, and then I plot my x and y, and then x and y are object. X is a linear space vectors. So actually, you will create something like minus 5.0 and then minus 4.99, something like that. Okay, totally 101 points. So that's the data will be prepared, and then I calculate the square root of it. So this one's the square root of the all x vectors, and you plot it. Okay. So these are different objects. SOI are build project, but when I do figure create a new object, and then you run, then it's another object pop out in PyLab format. Okay, take a while for it to come up. Okay, subject wrong. Okay, only size of can be converted to scalar. So actually it doesn't allow this one. Okay, let me do something else.
是不是要 import math 啊？
No, it's not that, something like that. It actually is the no problem. Don't worry. It's actually. I need to find my own square root, and then here let me put in x. Okay, and then for t in x. Okay, and here I say y equals mt, and here I'll say y dot append, and then minus dot sqrt of the t, and then finish that I return y. Okay, this should be fine. Okay, here I don't pull the version from mass, I pull my own one. This should be fine. Okay, so this one actually I create some listing, and every time I get the data, one data from here, I throw it in, and then for each one of the vector element, I actually calculate the square root of it and append that to y, and then eventually I return y. Okay, the language structure we will cover later, but here I just want to show you what's that mass domain error. So this one actually I do need to import mass. Okay, I didn't import that. Wait, mass domain error. Let me just put another one. It's QRT1. Okay, I think it actually a conflict or something. Don't worry. Sometimes debugging, you just take some steps. Wait, it's QRT1. Where is the mass domain error? Mass domain error import. How come it has the mass domain error?
T in X.
No, maybe it's this one. Yeah, something like that. Embedded. Oh, there's a 0. I'm sorry. I know what happened there. Square root, you cannot have negative. I'm sorry. So you start from 0. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I just want to show it. But actually, you can have the negative value in square root. It's okay. So what I'm trying to say is that this actually is a object. Okay, this one actually is an object. And to be honest, these are all objects. This one is also an object. Each object will have what? Let's go back to our slides, okay? Each object will have what? Each object is just like a window, right? Just like your window. So object will have these, right? And you will have like data, like how wide, how high it is, width and height for the window, right? And you will have something like background color, say white color, You have the curve color, say blue color, right? And some data associated with that. So those things we call it property for a object. So for example, you have the width, that's a property, and then height, that's a property, right? These are properties, or we call it instance or object variable. Okay, these are different parameters you can actually tune a object called instance variable. Okay, now something else is like, other than the property, you still have something called methods or something called behaviors. What's behavior? Say I here window, I have an X, and then I click it, the window will be terminated. That's one behavior. The exit behavior is a function. I click it, it will be done. Or I drag this window will become bigger. There will be zoom in, zoom out behavior. So number two. So a object basically has property and behavior, or property also called variable, and then behavior also called methods. Okay. So basically, a Python language is all over with objects all over, and especially for graphics. That's why graphic is placed right here, and talk about how this object can be used to design the graphic design. So far we learned about a few data types. Why object and graph is placed here is because so far we learned numbers, integer and float. We learn Boolean for true and false. We learn string, character, and whatever text is over here. Now we learn something more. It's called object type or class type or reference type. This is the same name, okay? And what is a class? Class is something to create object. Okay, class is something to create object. Let me give you an example, and you will know what is a class. Okay, so don't worry about the programming too much. You still have a lot of things to learn, maybe another 4 or 5 weeks before you can really go into those programs. But don't worry. Here, let me show you a class. Okay, a simple class here. Let me do, say, complex. Okay, I want to do a complex number. So here I say class complex. Okay, so here I have a class complex defined, and then I say underline init, underline, and here I can say real, and then should be inside real and imaginary. Okay, and I'll say self that r equals real, and then self that I equals imaginary. Okay, what does it mean? This means like, okay, I can create something called, right here I can say C1 equals complex of 3 and 4, okay, and then I can print C1 that R and then I do this comma, and I print C1 that imaginary comma, and then here I can do in terms of in front of here I should have a plus sign, and here I have a J. Okay, I don't want to use I. Some systems use I, but here I want to use J because J more visible. Okay, and I run it. So I pretty much can print now this as a complex number, right? My complex number is like this. So here, let's say a class should have a constructor. Okay, a class should have constructor. So this guy is called constructor. When you have something called init, init itself is a constructor.
Mm.
And it has an underline because it's a so-called private function. So only the class can see this function. Outside cannot see
Okay.
it. But whenever you call this one, call complex, you will call this function. And whenever you call the function name with the class name, same as the class name, you will call this one. And then 3 will pass to real, 4 will pass to imaginary, and then that will assign to self.I and self.R and self.I. And when here you try to say C1 is a instance. So I have a class called complex. It's a complex number. And I make a copy called C1, and the C1 has an R set to 3, I set to 4. Right? And I can use that to create C2. C2 is another one, maybe 5 and 2. That would be 5 plus 2J. Right? So those are two complex numbers. So this guy is called class. I'm sorry. So this guy actually is called class. And these two are called objects. C1 and C2 are objects. Okay? And then this one, 5 and 2 are object variable or instance variables. Okay, so here are instance variables. Okay? Because they are instance variables, so basically when I print it, I can still use object name dot instance variable, and I should be able to get my data field of the R out. So this is somewhat like a record, somewhat like a student who has name and then GPA, right? So student may be like, okay, I have a student called Eric, and name would be this one, Eric Chow, right? And then GPA, say 3.9. Okay, so I can do print now on my Eric.name, and that should be able to print out this. And then if I print Eric.GPA, and that one should print out this. Right? So that's the data field. And in order to specify it as a instance data field, you need to put a cell in front of it. So cell means this object. So these objects are set as this real. These objects I set to imaginary. So I feed the data 3 and 4 into there, and I actually can do that, right? So here, that's the first function. So this first function, we call it constructor. Constructor is used to build object. Okay, that's a constructor, and constructor used to build object. So here I print a C1, a complex number, okay, and I can make a copy. And in fact, there's a complex library, but I don't call it right here. I just want to show you what is a complex number. So here, maybe I change to 5.2, and I say C2. So complex is actually a template. So you can actually use that to create many different complex numbers. So I print out this, right? And this is one function called init, that's constructor. There is another one called underline reprint. Underline. Okay, this one called reprint. So reprint used to convert object to string. Can you see the one this color? It's actually not easy.
Yeah.
So here actually, instead of doing this, let's make a copy of this one, copy over here. Okay, copy over here, and actually I would do this, do return and then here say is percentage, and here I say let me see. Okay, and this I don't need it. Okay, this I don't need it. And here actually with that I can print out the data, so I just do C1, and this one I just do C2, and I should be able to print now my compressed numbers. This one is like C1, C2 compressed. Let me see. Oh, this one should be C1. Should be cell. I shouldn't print out C1 cell. Okay. Print out its own data, not C1's. Okay. Print out its own data. And in order to test it, I can put this different function into a main function. Right? I put into the main function, and actually I cut it, and then I tap, and then paste. Okay. After that, I run my main program. So this is somewhat like my main program in other language. And here I can say if okay. As for what is this used for, I'll explain later. But for now, you just remember this one. You check whether this program is a main program. If it is a main program, it will actually run. Otherwise, it won't run here. But this is okay. You will actually so far create two objects and then print both of them, right? So here I have two methods. One is called reprint. Print now, convert the object into string. There's another one called constructor that can actually build a constructor, right? So here actually I can do some more like define add, okay, and then here I can do like other, right? So this one actually should actually return, okay, self dot a tuple. Let me see. So here I should do complex. Okay, self dot x I and r plus self dot I, right, comma self dot no, let me make a mistake. This one should be a r, and this one should be other. Okay, here should be self dot I plus self other dot I. Okay, and this one I should be able to do like C1 plus C2. Right? I can actually do equals C3 equals this. Okay, and then I print my C3. Okay. So this is the add function. I can operate. My current C1 is my current object. Okay, and then C2 is actually my my other actually is a other. C2 is the other. So others are real plus my current one. My current one is C1's real number, and plus together assigned to C3's real number, because you use the complex to call it, you feed in that to here. So this one create a new one, C3, actually is a C1 plus C2. So these three functions are all member function property or behaviors. And then R1 and R and I are the properties, the instance variables. Is that okay? So these are different objects like that. You can operate it, you can define a function, and declare something called class. Same things for whatever you will learn in chapter 4. They are all objects. They are all objects. They always have different classes. So let's continue right here. So here we finish this overview, okay? Each data type can represent a certain set of value, and each has a set of associated operations. So here, the set of value is the property or instance variable. So here, it said that the set of value here encompasses the variable, actually is the R9. Associated operation is like constructor. Underline ini is a behavior, right? Underline 8 is also a behavior or operation. And then underline reprint, it's also a operation. So traditional programming views that data is passive. Okay, you can only manipulate and combine with active operations. And here, actually, we have the operation with associates. Modern computer programming can be built using the object-oriented approach. So now, the one I just showed you is an object-oriented approach. So you can make the complex number more like normal plus minus operation, like what people say. And then most application you will get familiar with is the graphic user interface programs that give you the Windows icons of buttons and the menus. And they are graphic library like graphic.py. I installed this for you, but if it is not there, you can check, okay? Right here, let me bring up the user menu. Okay, this is the textbook. Let me actually bring up the user menu for graphics. So this one is user menu for graphics. So this chapter 4 depends on this graphic.py a lot. Okay, so the first one, let's look at this one called from graphic import. Let's make the first program. Okay, I directly just copy from here. And then actually I go to my program here. I create something called first graphic. Okay, and I just pass it, okay? So here basically from graphic, I import everything and I define a main function. And this main function actually has a few call that is, right? I just tap it to make it inside the main function. And then this main is not inside the main function. So right here, actually I have what? I have call a class, and that class is named graphic win. So graphic win is just like our complex. It is a constructor, and that constructor pass in 3 parameters: my circle, 100. So you make a 100 window, and the name is called my circle. Right? And inside there, I create a circle point 50-50. So in the middle 50-50, radius of 10, I draw a circle like that. So then I see that draw and then get mouse. And here you can mouse click, it will close the window. Okay, so let's do it. Is that okay? That's the basic operation you have here. So here we would have graph win is a constructor, create a class, right? Point is a constructor, you create a point. The point is 50-50. And this is 1 point, and that is a radius. 2 things pass to your circle. So your circle has 2 properties: center point, location, and the radius. And then after that, you draw the circle. So you draw a circle on where? On the window. So attach that circle onto the window. And the window get mouse. So get mouse is a operation, and then you actually get mouse. Okay, so here actually let's run it. Okay, let's do it. First graphic. Okay, it's something like this. Okay, it actually gets something like this, and then you click, it will be finished. So right here, let's do, if this one is a 400. Let's do 800, 600. Okay, and then this one, let's do like 200, right? And 50, let's do 400, and then 300. Okay, that's our circle, and let's long it. Okay, something like that. Actually, the radius is 20. That is long. I should use a 200. Okay, it's something like this, right? Middle is 400, 300. So here, actually, you will see like the width is 400, 800. Height is 300, 600. Sorry, let me actually terminate the call. Okay, so this is 800 by 600. And then the center point is actually 400, 300. Right? And the radius is 200. That's what we draw, right? And now actually, this is basic operation, right? Let's do more. Okay, let's do more than this. And it want you to actually get mouse. So get mouse means here, click get mouse, it will terminate. Okay. So now this window actually, before we do something, we do window that set background, right? And you can do color, right? So actually, I would do like color, and I can say, yeah, I can say this one is color. Let's do color. Okay, color. No, there's no color. Let me check my menu. Okay. So when you don't know about something, you go to your graphic. This one, it will show you. Let me see the color. So color, you can put blue, set background white. Okay, let me just do this. Okay, let me just do this one. Don't set it to white, let's set it to black. Okay, and then when we draw the circle, let's set the color of the circle. Let me see the color of the circle here. Here you can actually use Control F. And you put in a circle. There's a circle, so I find the next one. Circle, 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 circle. So circle means you can put radius, get center, something. No, that's not what I want. It's not enough. I want to do width. There's no width. So let me actually bring down to some other object. So here it has the object. You can set field, set outline, set width. Okay, set field, set outline, set width. Okay. So here you have C, right? So here you will see the set field. Let's do yellow. Okay, and then see that set outline. Let's set to say green. This one, let's try lowercase yellow, and then see that set width. Let's try 5. Okay, and then let's run it. See what happens. See that? Okay.
Okay.
So background turn to black. Okay. Center 200. Okay. And then field, and then outline is green. Outline is green for 5 pixels.
Outline. Okay.
And the width is 5. Width is the boundary width.
Outline with
Boundary width.
boundary.
Okay, so here actually the boundary actually I can change to so let's do light gray.
Light gray.
Like raise a parallel. Here's a parallel. Something like this. Okay. Something like this, right? That's one circle. That's one circle. Okay, that's one circle. So let's try this. Let's try here. We have a first circle done, right? That's a background circle, and then we can do something like C eyes 1 equals circle the 50, 400, 400 circle CLE, right? Right here, that's 2 point. And then here the radius, let me do 50, right? And the point, let me try, that's 400, 400. So it's 400. Let me put it here. So let me do this one, okay? So here, let's me do width equals 800, height equals 600. Okay, so I do half width equals width divided by 2. But it need to be integer division. Okay, half height equals height divided by 2. Okay, so here instead of using 800, 600, let me actually put into width and height, right? And then this right here should be width and height. This one should be half of it, right? Half width and half height, right? And the radius should be half width is half width. Again, divided by 2, right? The color is there, and then this one is actually the radius is 200, so this one should be half width divided by 5 should be 40. Actually, it's divided by 40. Yes. Okay. No, actually, it should be 80. Okay. And then here we have a circle. So here I would say my center point is, okay, let me show you. My center point here, right here is actually right here, it should be like half width, half height, right? My center point is half width, half height, right? So my new point over here should be half width, half height. I want to draw an eye over here and the eye over here, right? So it actually should be my half width minus 30, my half height minus like 80. Okay, I just try this one. I don't know whether it work or not. And I try to have some circle, and that circle is actually from my center point over here. Right, that's my half width, half height, minus 30, minus 30 is over here, minus 80. This one's 80. Right, put here, I draw an eye like this. Okay, so this one is like that, and then let me clear this one, right? And here, let me crease this one. So here I have this one, and then the radius I set to 50, right? So my I1 that set field. This one I set here to white color. Okay, and then the I1 that set outline, I'll set to black. Okay, and then the next one is width. So I1's set width should be like 3. Let's pick 3. Okay, and then C draw. So in this one, actually C should draw first, and my I1 that draw also on win. Okay, that's just it will be draw after the C. Okay, so let me actually move my C draw up, not to get confused. Right? Okay, and then actually I should be able to run it. Okay, this one's over here is somewhat. Let me put one more thing. This is an I, and I'll change it to. Let me see. This is an I. I will pull it down a little bit. So here, let me set it to 60. Okay. Okay, a little bit lower, and I will move a little bit this way, a little bit this way. So here I should say a little bit this way. So I would say this one should be minus about 40. 40.
Okay.
Okay, and then that is a circle outline of the eye, right? So here I should use another function that's called oval. This is another circle, but this one I'm going to call something called oval. Okay, there is another function called oval. It will give you the oval shape. Okay, here let me call oval. Oval is ellipse. Okay, so there is some function called oval. Let's look at the oval. So oval has 2 points. It's a bounding box of oval.
Okay.
So this one's I1, then
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why I1 circle half height minus 16, it will be a show upper.
Yeah, it actually is for the coordinate.
I thought it's lower.
Here is 0, here is width.
Oh, okay.
Here is 0, here is height.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
It's not like this.
Okay.
Not like this.
Okay.
Okay, the next one is I'm trying to draw a black oval inside it. Okay? So here let's try a OV1. Let me just copy the whole thing. Okay. Let's copy the whole thing. Okay. And here is not a circle. It actually, let me actually do this one. OV1. Okay, here is like OV2, OV1. So here everything set to OV1. Okay. OV1. Okay, and then here actually, let me do no longer a circle. So here it is not that it should have the 0.1. Minus 60. Okay, and here it should have the 0.2. Okay, 0.2. So these 2 points are the bounding box. Okay, these 2 points are the 2 bounding box. So I want to draw a eye over here. So my goal is now I want to draw a black color. So its eye will be drawing like this. Right? I'm trying to draw something like oval shaped. Okay, it should be something like that. So I need to know about this middle is like minus. This middle is like minus 40, minus 60, right? So I need to find this point and this point, and then draw a oval shape. So this one, minus 40 right here, maybe about minus 43. The height maybe minus maybe 45. This upper one maybe is minus 30, and then the height probably the other corner height might be minus 70. Let's do this, okay?
Okay.
Let's use these two parameters to draw the first black eye. So here, this one, let's do minus 45. Height is minus 40. Let me just try some number. Maybe it's not good. And here, maybe it's like half with minus what? Minus this one is like 30. And point, the other one's half. Height minus maybe 40. Okay. And then right here. So not only to do program, you also need to have some artistic sense. Okay. So the outline and the whatever, you just set it as black. Oh, black. The outline and everything black. And width actually this set width not needed because it's all black. You just have a black eye. And then let's run it. Okay, let's run it. What happened? Oh, no, this one's not 40, it should be 70. Okay, make a mistake.
Oh.
Little too tiny, right? Too tiny. So the lower is 130 should be small. So let's try this one. Maybe like then minus 45 is not enough. So that's minus 6. This one height maybe minus 20. Okay, with 30. Let's just keep this one and see what happens. Okay. This one a little bit too. This one a little bit too much to the left. First, let's adjust it to be wider than this one minus 30. Let's do minus 20. Okay. And then I want to move to the. Let's do this. Okay, let's do this. See what happens. Okay, like this. And I want to do a little bit this way, a little bit this way, a little bit this way. Let me actually make this one a little bit rounder. So in order to make it rounder, my width need to be high more. So this one maybe minus 5. It probably look okay now. Okay, now but it's a little bit too low. A little bit too low, so I actually this one minus 25, and this one maybe 75. Move up a little bit. Okay, somewhat okay, right? Somewhat okay. A little bit just higher. A little bit just higher. So this one maybe 28. And this one maybe S3 75, 78. A little bit higher for the eye. And then it's not really oval, so I actually would cut a little bit to the left. So this one maybe 55. So you must have a very good eye. Okay, this is one eye, right? This is one eye. And after I finish this eye, right, I click quite many of them. Let me actually close them. You can
Oh.
actually close all of them, right? It's okay. Then I run one more time to have a base design. Keep the base design over here. You need to learn what I'm doing right now because later you will know this is good. Okay, this design process is teaching you how to do graphics. So now I have an eye like this, right? I need to make a copy. So this one is still a little bit too, this black one too high. So I will drop a little bit to here. So minus the height minus 28. Let's do just two of them. So let's do 26. Let's do 76. Okay. Let's draw it. Okay. Okay, this one a little bit better. Now, I have one eye draw, right? And here I should do. Okay, I don't worry. Okay, here actually, I have my circle and then I draw an eye, right? So the whole draw eye stuff, I can just cut. And right here, I have a function called definition draw eye. And pass here.
Oh.
The only thing I need to pass over is the window. So here I pass my window over here, right? And here actually I should do my draw. Here I should do my draw eye and then attach to window, right? But something I want to pass over. What I want to pass over is the is the center, right? So here I want to pass. I want to pass CX and CY. Okay, so CX now is like height minus 40. Okay, so CX here is my minus 40. So I pass here. Okay, and CY is height and then minus 70. Okay, this is CY. So I have a CX and CY. Oh, I'm sorry, I put the wrong location. Sorry, no, I'm sorry. I put it in the wrong place. Okay, CX and CY. Don't worry. So here I should have a CX. Should be like half width minus 40, half height minus 70, and this one I have a typo H. Okay, done, right? So here I have a CX CY, so this one should be CX. This one should be CY. Look at what I do. Okay, look at what I do. CY over here, and this one is like 40 minus another 15. So this one is like CX. Okay, this one is 70. This one is plus like 34. And then this one is like minus 5. I have 40. So this one is like plus 35 for CX. So you use the center point as a reference point. Okay, this one is minus 6 for CY. Okay, and we actually draw one of these. Okay, and then you actually just run it to see that actually keep the same chart or not. Okay, I don't know if it's good or not, but let's keep it. Okay, I don't know if it's good or not, but let's keep it. And then that's one I draw. So I want to draw a second one. So here I just need to repeat this one, right? And right here, say I want it to be symmetric. So let me do plus 40 first. And the height is the same. But I want it to be a little bit higher, so let me do 73. Okay? And actually should be, yeah, height is almost the same. So let's do this one. So I don't need to adjust for the second eye now. Oh, this one's overlapped it. So the plus 40 is not enough. Let's plus 60. See what it how it works. Okay, and this is a little bit odd. Let me move this down a little bit. Move this guy down a little bit. So here, let me do 38. No. This one actually is 40. So this one, let me do this one 68. A little bit further away. So this one should be like 45. This one should be 63. Okay, something like that. You actually now you are adjusting, fine tune the whole thing a little bit. Chop this guy a little bit more. Right, chop this guy a little bit more. So 45. So here should be 66, and then a little bit further apart. So this by 48. This one to the right a little bit. So 65. This one a little bit higher. So like 274. Okay, and now I need to draw a mouse over here. Now I need to draw a mouse over here, right? So here actually to draw a mouse over here, I should do another circle. So let me actually copy the circle, right? So I instead of actually do that, I actually just do what? Draw mouse. Right? 呈现的 cast the window in, right? Right? And then actually I need to do the center. So it's also CXCY. Right? No, actually you just need
What's
a center point.
mean?
What?
Draw mouse.
Yeah, I will define here. Don't worry.
Okay.
You just draw a circle. So let me actually copy this guy out. Okay. And right here, actually, I have a define draw mouse. Okay, and here I have a center. CENTR. I should do this. Okay, and then pass it here. So center is a point. So I actually pass my center as a point here. Okay, my center is actually a point. Okay, and this one mouse is actually way smaller. So I divide it by, say, this 4. Please. This one, let me do actually, say, divided by 8. Okay, the color should be field, should be white, and outline should be black. So width should be the width. Let's do 100. Let's do 100. Then this one show wing. I need to actually pass the window in as well. I need to draw wing and center. So this one show mouse. Now I need to do a center as a point. Here I should do like let me do half waist plus 70. No, yeah, and a half height. Maybe not. Okay. Plus 70, and then you want probably just add 40. Okay, let's just try. We never know. We never know before you show up. Oh, not bad. That's this one. And then I want it to be a little bit bigger of the mouse and a little bit this way. So let's do this. Instead of, let's do this. Okay. It needs to be moved a little bit left. So this one like plus like plus like 30, and the circle size should be bigger. So here I have divided by, I have circle 8, so I should do circle maybe 6. Okay, not bad. A little bit more over there, but too big. The mouse is too big. So 7. And then a little bit to the left. Again, 30 is not enough, maybe 28, 26. Okay. And then this one too low, maybe plus 65. Let's see how it works. Okay. Not too bad, right? The eye should be a little bit further apart. So this one by maybe 52. You know, then all the joint of the eye and mouth are a little bit like parameterized, and you should drop a little bit more. So here, like a 63. Let me try. Okay, like that. Okay, so now that's assume this one is acceptable. Okay, I know we can actually continue the tune. But that's assume this one is acceptable, right?
Well, what's the meaning of the wing that close? Why here they show some red words?
Oh, this one? Because we have a cat mouse, and it actually just close the window, not getting using the clean mouse. That's okay. That's nothing. It's okay. Don't worry. I mean, that one is okay. So actually, we have this one called draw a what? We actually draw a whole
face.
Smiley. Okay. So here actually I have is draw mouse, draw eye, right? So here let me do something called draw smiley. Okay, I build it from bottom up, right? And draw smiley, I also need to have something called window, and then I should also have a center, right? And then smiley. Let me actually copy. Actually get this whole thing up. Cut it, right? I cut it, and just paste here. Okay, paste here, and then the center again. This point is a center. So here I just copy this one, cut, actually not copy, cut. Okay, and pass here. And then here I say draw smiley. And then here I have my center point, right? But I still need to put my window point over here. Window, pass the window in. So I draw smiley with these parameterized things, right? And then I just move. Okay, I just draw it, okay? Wait, in value function circle. Oh, I forget to put the center back. Okay. Okay, then. Okay. So now that's we started with the center. We know the center is in the middle of the something, right? So here let's do this. Let's actually do cx equals half width, or cy equals half height. Okay, I draw a smiley, right? So here I should have using the
cx and cy.
Cx and cy, right? Okay, and the size of it, actually the radius is what? The radius for smiley is actually half width divided by 2, so it's a 1/4 of the width, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here actually I can do design something called clear smiley. Okay, I can do clear smiley. Okay, and then I just pass window in, right? And pass the window in, and then I do actually I need to use the something called here I should do something like still get a center. Okay, still get a center, and then I should have x. Let me see. X1 equals center that x that get x2 y1 equals center that get y. It's minus the radius is 50, so here minus 55. Let's do minus 50 and minus 50. Okay, and then again this one I do this one copy, and then actually do this one plus 50, here plus 50. Okay, and here I have these two actually drawing this one through smiley, and then I will draw a rectangle, and then I'll draw a rectangle. So rectangle here, rectangle 0.1, 0.2. Okay, so actually I would do here. I will show something called rectangle. So R equals rectangle, and then I say points of S1, Y1, okay, and then points of S2, Y2. So here is 2 points, X2, Y2. Okay, I get the rectangle, right? And eventually I need to do R dot draw a window, so that's fine. And then here I need to do R dot set field. So here I do the field, I fill in black color. It's the field. There,
Set field.
Set field, yes. And here I should have the R dot set outline. Again,
the set field is SET.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry.
Right.
Okay, so it's SET field. And then I also have the set width is not needed. Okay, just need the color and set it. So after I get mouse, and then I do clear smiley window, then actually I would actually clear the same location as the center here. It actually should clean things up. Okay, so here let me do it. Okay, let's draw it. Okay, and I click, you will be close. Let me actually get one more mouse click so it will stay. See if you actually clean things up. Okay, so here let me do this. And then I click, oh, that's too small. That's not enough to clean it, right? So the size shouldn't be the plus minus 50. Actually, I think it's totally the circle, the whole big smiley circle is half width divided by 2. So it actually is what? 400. It's a 400, right? 400 divided by 2 should be 200. So actually here should be minus 200. Minus 200 plus 200. Right? So it's fine. Let's run it. Click. Oh, still not enough. So here let me add 3. So 203, 203, 203, 203. I think it's the outline width. So let me go to a smiley. Smiley's width is what? Smiley's width is the width divided by 80. So let me copy this down. Okay, instead of inventing something new, so actually should be minus this. Okay, so here I have a 200, 200, 200. So here I pass it minus. Here I have plus, and then let's do it again. Let's run, and then click. Oh, it's clean now. Okay, so now we are able to clean now the whole thing, right? Now the next one, actually, I will import time. Okay, import time. Okay, import time. So here, over here, I draw one smiley over here, right? I draw smiley over here. So now I don't want to do this one anymore. Let me clean it. Okay, clean it, clean it, clean it, clean it, right? So here, actually, my CX, I started from this one divided by 10. I actually go to like 10. I starting from 10. Okay, something like that. And then here I say while true. Okay. I do while true, and then I do draw, and let me do something. Okay, here actually let's do sleep time, that sleep of 0.1 second. Okay, and I do draw smiley. Okay, and I get my CX. So here I will do the same thing, Windows, and then point, and then here CX, CY, right? And after that, actually my CX plus equals 5. Okay, and then let me see, draw it, hold it, and then before I draw it, let me do clear smiley. Okay, every time I clean the area, sleep for 0.1 second. Let me move the 0.1 second to the end. Okay, rearrange it. Rearrange the order. Okay, and this increase put front of it. Okay, so every time actually I do. So this one is what? The procedure right here is like. No, I mean to animate it is actually I have a while true loop, right? And then what happened is like I clear it first, right? And then I do update, and then draw. After I draw, I hold for 0.1 second, and then go to update, draw, hold, update, draw, hold, update, draw, hold.
Okay.
Okay, and here actually here I need to add one more condition. So here here I just need to if CX less than width. Okay, and I do this. Okay, else CX equals 10 again. Okay, so let's see how this works. No, what's that? What's that Windows Center thing?
Wing and center.
Where is that? Which function? Clear smiley.
Clear.
Oh, clear smiley. I still need to do win and point CXCY. Okay, no problem. Let's do it. Oh no, the eye is not moving with it.
Why?
The eye is not moving with it. Don't worry. I is not moving with it. Okay. Why?
等它乱完哦。
No. Because it's fixed location. Because it's fixed location. So here actually I have a center, right? I use the center to draw smiley. So here I need to adjust. So I need to adjust by the center. So I should also have a CS equals center bracket x. No, I need a CY equals center bracket 1, right? And then half width is my half width. My center point is half width, right? Okay, let's continue. So here you can do this. Oh, I have a y. This one should be cy again. So now let's run it. Okay, it's running. Let's see how it hit the boundary. So you actually wait until the center point hit the boundary and you will still start from the other side. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's the animation for this smiley. That's it for today. Thank you. Bye now.